Y'all killed it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. I know that the metagame is in an interesting place right now. I do believe playtime has decreased, meaning, the amount of people on the ladder, I'm sure has decreased. Now, I'm not certain if it's due to all the bans. I probably started declining once that wave, that 3 ban, Annihilate Chiyu and Cyclozar. So the casual user who, was having a blast, knowing that, probably never going to get to, well, unless he, finds the academy, of course. He's probably never going to get beyond a certain point. So you just hop on, grab a few games. And so now he's getting smacked down by Toxapex, wondering what happened. I used to be able to beat this annoying thing with my taunt Annihilate. Now I'm in the dirt. And so, you go through 3-4 games like that. Then you may have angry users like screw the Showdown. What's it called? The OU Council. There we go. Another Baxcalibur, man. We are arch nemesis. We meet again. I love it because it does force me to have to think, because the matchup versus Vax is not ideal. Now, in this case, it might be a little better because my Great Tusk can sweep the opponent if I Terra Water. I just need a few conditions, man, and some bits of information. Secondly, Coltrane was like, well, why don't you use Terra Fire Jam? Well, the thing about something like a frail mon that needs a lot of support to do work, you want it to get one-hit KOs. Right? You don't want Terra Fire, Fire Blast. Sure, on paper, 2-hit KOs most things, but that's the problem. 2-hit KOs most things. You want OKOs. And a lot of the mods that'll come and say Volcarona, Cinderace, all those are 2-hit KOs. And to even threaten with an OKO would be, I'd need to hit Fire Blast and all those stuff. So to remove the variants, we put Terra Rock. It covers for most things. Anyway, and then Skeledirge. We saw how I did versus Skeledirge yesterday. Now, all that being said, D-Knight or... You know what? I didn't respect this. This does work. So let's see. If he's going to try to hammer my son, what would he try to do versus me? Watch him be the one loaded dice. Baxcalibur. Since I have absolutely no data, I'm going to assume he's going to try it. He's going to expect me to over leverage with my son and opt for Claude / the biggest problem to me is Bax. I don't see too much downside to my son. I partly want to see what his item is. Like I want to Stealth Rock here because I don't think he'll use Hatterene if he EQs and I see the damage. I don't know if he's banned or not. I'd prefer him to be banned, truth be told. And I don't think I'll get rocks any other way. I'll yawn first. He is banned, and okay. So that's frustrating, but that's why I was like, if I went for rocks there, I'd see the damage, know he's banned, and I'll be able to switch out. So we're likely staring down Hatterene here. There's not too much I can do about that. I could pivot to such and such and go for the Hatterene might have Psychic. So if I can get the Fire Burn, so that's big. That's a big deal for my Great Tusk later on. I know the Bax is banded now, which is good data. So it was worth the EQ damage. Now this is a little more of a. We already discussed yesterday that we're also very weak to Hatterene. So I have to probably play this a little differently. If he's Psyshock, I can stay in here. If he's Psychic. See, he could Calm Mind too. Mystical Fires. Okay, I'm okay with that. So Mystical Fires, he's going to go for a stab next turn then. Do I give up my Sash? Mystical Fire. Hatterene is low enough now. But Mystical Fire going to my Scovillain isn't ideal. And Scovillain is not sweeping. So it's like, okay, do you give up the Sun? Since Scovillain isn't sweeping, I'm going to go hard to it here. It's still going to be in range of Flamethrower, and he might stay in. I still think I can knock him out with Flamethrower. Okay, goes hard back. So that's a blessing. That's a blessing because now He thinks he's the man, but I have Ice Shark counters. Yeah. And he switched the Hatterene out. So I actually got a 2-for-1 special. If we talked about what Dragonite needs, conditions need to be met. The Hatterene is now within Dragonite extreme speed range. The Baxcalibur is within extreme speed range. And now the last condition that needs to be met is either Volk gets hit. I need to know what the Volk's moveset is, because you know it can survive. If it's Will-O-Wisp. Lower ladder doesn't usually use Will-O-Wisp. I've come to learn. He's 1659, so maybe use Will-O-Wisp. And then the Clodsire, because it has Unaware, so I won't knock it out in one go. So I need a little bit of damage on that. Great Tusk maybe, but I think my Great Tusk might be a better option, but I need to force a Terra. So that's the case. And we're staring down potential Clodsire here. How do we take advantage of that? We're going to take advantage of that. Oh, it's Goldengo. What did I just have effect? Oh, that makes sense. This is great. This is great because he can't Terra Flying, and I have the special attack boost, which means he has to give up on mine here. I wanted to take advantage of the Sun for Sandy Shock still. My man Aaron's been putting in work. Shout outs to my boy Aaron, a true long time subscriber. It's just, that's my dude. So Clodsire comes in, which is perfect because Clod is no counter, and I'm going to lose the Sun. So I wouldn't have 2 KO'd him otherwise, but now I do, unless he Terra Grass or something. I want a hazard here, but the Clodsire going down is far more valuable, as that was his primary way of dealing with. So it goes Volk, which is amazing because I have a Toxapex. I get to Volt Switch, and it's just completely invalidate this Pokemon as we leverage the Toxic here. I could Haze first, but Toxic gets me a little Terra Grass. Terra Grass, Giga Drain wouldn't 2 KO me. Do I Haze first? No, I'll Toxic, especially if he hard switches. Goes hard Hatterene. This thing is still a bitch. So now that he's sacked, I want him to KO my Torkoal. Yeah, excellent. So we can go to Scovillain here. Him the Flamethrower. We're going to die, but he's going to be in range, which is what matters. Funnily enough, Scovillain could sweep here, but Bax is alive. So we're going to take the ton of damage as he Mystical Fires. And now we get to go to the beast that's been ravaging unsuspecting prey ever since. Man, the fucking Focus Sash, having it and knowing that is there, and he's not going for Ice Shard. Even if he does, it's irrelevant. He's like, oh, I'm tired of your shit, bro. I'm tired of your shit. But as I said, from a long-term perspective, Spike, I don't know what the Goldengo is, but all of them lose. Like after this Volt Switch damage, especially because it's boosted, all of them are gonna lose to my Les Shocks. So now he goes to Goldengo. Morning Sun. Okay, blessed. So he shows Morning Sun, Quiver Dance. So it could be Will-O-Wisp. He just hasn't shown it yet. He hasn't Terra'd yet either, which is a big deal. What do I want to do here? It's a little gambly to go Hard Shocks, though it's fairly obvious he'll switch out. So without like Will-O-Wisp, I'll just play it cool right now. I don't have to take the big risks. It could be Trick on this. What's the worst case scenario here? I go D-Knight. D-Knight's not muscling past Tusk unless it's... I don't know if his rocker was Quagsire or Clodsire or Tusk. Let's say he's Trick. That then means that Dragonite handles him comfortably, but then my Pex would be Scarfed. If he Nasty Plasty, I can Haze and then pivot to Dragonite now that I know it's set. It's Hex, so he has some foolishness. Golly. So it's probably some T-Wave stuff. Hex. Interesting. So it's not Trick. Trying to think what is a way where no matter what I win without the least risk possible. So him having Hex means my Great Tusk can Terra Water fairly safely, and there'll be no downside, because he's not gonna go for Thunder Wave on my Great Tusk. If he does, it does put me in a bind. I'm gonna recover first. Yeah, there's the Nasty Plot. So what I want to do is condition him. Nasty Plot Hex. Maybe his team was meant to status me, and then that didn't quite work out. Hex Nasty Plot. If he has a status move, that means he doesn't have. So I'll go hard D-Knight now. It covers for both. This fool has fucking. You can't make this shit up, bros. He has fucking. So that means he either doesn't have recover. And I was like, there's no way. He either doesn't have recover, or he doesn't have make it rain. If he terras this, then I have nothing to worry about anymore. It's Great Tusk him. If he goes Great Tusk now, I have to go to my own Great Tusk, and he gets to bulk up before me. What do I want to do? He could Hex here. If he's Hexing, I Terra normal. Because I haven't Terra'd yet. Alright. What the fuck is this, bros? I swear. What is a guarantee that won't happen here? Don't want my fucking pecs paralyzed either. Please fucking break. God damn, bro. This is why I'm like thinking this through so much, because I know with these low ladder guys, man, with the luck and the D-Knight being gone isn't the worst thing in the world. In fact, I'd prefer if I lose D-Knight to this. I mean, he could have recover as his last move, so I guess I could save this for the extreme speed and what surf spam and have, but I don't want. I'd prefer Pex to be my last mon. Yeah. So from a hack standpoint, it's far more risky to have. So now I just I'll just Earth Power. I'm like thinking, why would he Terra flying the? Why would he Terra flying the low health Goldango? That makes no sense. Okay, so it goes full Corona. Is there a way Tusk could give me trouble? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna go to my Tusk. I probably should have went to my Pex here, honestly. But he goes to Tusk first. He spins. I'm faster, which is big. And he hasn't gone for bulk up yet. So that lets me know that he's probably not. Yeah. Earthquake's doing 29%. So my play is to just EQ spam. Okay, so he was some rogue Tusk. For cover is his last move. Let's just knock off here. He was flying, but he was actually slower than my Tusk. Man, what the fuck, bro? That's what I'm talking about. You gotta be very careful with this type of end game, like, because if I was just like, oh well, I'll just, he's supposed to be standard sets, and so I'm going to presume he's a standard set, and then I get bodied by the max defense, most likely, no speed, Hex, Nasty Plot, T-Wave, Goldango with the fucking 3 attack, well 4 attack technically, Great Tusk. Like what? Then bros switch Quags Claws Iron into it was insane. And I knew my experience with Thunderwave. I'm like, okay, if I had to make a Gamon get hacked, who would it be? And this guy's using Sun. Like, I'm getting outsunned right now. Like, but my Scovillain way more dangerous. I think I'll 6-0 him with my Scovillain. Unless his is timid. But I'm probably not going to risk the speed type. But like on lead, my Scovillain is body. I literally think this game is going to go me Scovillain killing his Torkoal with Terra Rock. And then bro is going to be looking at the screen like, oh no. And my D-Knight bodies my Sandy Shock is a problem. My Great Tusk. So I have a check for everything except that Charizard. If he leaves the Charizard, then we're in trouble. Okay. I'm actually not in trouble. I could kill the Zard now, but since it's not solar powered, like he should just go for the fire move, which is neutral. I could Terra and knock him out, but I want to save my Terra, especially if Pex is invulnerable here and I can Toxic whatever comes in. Now, the downside is that, well, I guess it's not too big of a downside since he has no grass. It's just grass immunity. I mean, normal immunity. So basically, I just described the whole sequence in my head and said nothing to y'all. So yeah, Santa Rock. I still have another flying resist. It's a close 3K. I don't want to waste the opportunity to Toxic the Torkoal. So the sequence I was just describing, I knew he'd attack, Torkoal would come in, he'd set up rocks, I'd go to my Torkoal, then I'd rapid spin, and that's what's about to happen. And I was like, okay, he doesn't have any ghost type. So the whole sequence in my head was just played out. And I knew I'd get the rapid spin off and it would be very little drawback because of that. Now, it does give him the opportunity to go to his Charizard, which I could yawn on switch. Sometimes these run rogue earth power, so I'm just going to go for the spin. I'd rather have my Focus Sash, truth be told. So Pex is gonna get destroyed here, or I could give him the Torkoal, because then Scovillain comes in. This is my rock. I actually like rocks in this game. No, we're not gonna keep them most likely. But looking back, it probably was better to just like that whole sequence that occurred just now. I'm curious how much Pex takes though. Maybe flamethrowers. Yeah, actually it doesn't 2K, which is a big deal. As we recover here. Oh shit. Oh shit. At least he committed his Terra. I could eat him alive with my Sandy Shocks right now. What do I want to do? There are a couple ways to skin this cat. I completely forgot about the Terra. It's not the end of the world, but I just forgot. So the best case scenario would be to what? To Sandy Shocks, Spike, D-Knight Sweep. Sandy Shocks forces in, but I might give him my Sash, which I don't want to do. Actually, I'm tripping. He turned into a fire type. I'm tripping. I'll just Earth Power here every time. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking about. I was like trying not to get around. I was trying to get around the Great Tusk. Especially if he goes to it hard here. That would be best case scenario. I probably want to Spike. My Pex being gone matters. It matters for sure. Like Pex was important. It would, to neutralize the Scovillain. I mean, I have extreme speed and such. I just need rocks really at this point, and D-Knight would hammer him as long as my Great Tusk is unscathed. Like his D-Knight, his Great Tusk, his everything. Truthfully, does nothing ever. And I still have the Terra in the bag. So there's a Great Tusk. This man's Assault Vest, and he's not just any old Assault Vest. He's Assault Vest. Like he's like Ultra Assault Vest. Like to take that little. How is he? Oh, attack is still gonna be our stat. He's like Ultra 3000 Assault Vest. Okay, fair enough. He's gonna Earthquake. We'll just take nothing from it. He actually doubles the Zard. Bro's mad aggressive. He's gone mad with power. That was a good double. I didn't expect it from his level of player, but then again, I should have expected it. But it doesn't really change that much, especially now that I know he's a Soul Bell's Great Tusk. It means my Dragonite is even more lethal. I just need a rock, so no. So he gets one turn of Sun. Spikes. I can't control the hazards. Great Tusk can't die. Scovillain is decent. Torkoal is gonna get 2 killed, so that's a waste of Torkoal. Or is it better to waste Scovillain? She's gonna give up the Torkoal. From a long-term perspective, it crit me there. I don't think the crit really made much of a difference. So we're gonna go Shocks here. We're gonna Earth Power once again. Great Tusk is gonna come in, which I don't mind, because now he can't double. I mean, he could double out the Zard technically, but it's not gonna bring too much value to him. So this is where things get interesting. So first we're gonna spin. Corviknight's likely to come out. I want to see what this Corviknight has in store for me. I'm gonna bulk up first. See if it's just gonna U-turn onto Torkoal. Okay, so it shows U-turn. Torkoal comes in. I should be able to one-shot this. And we're staring down Scovillain, but I also have. I don't. That's a big fuck. Him clear smogging there means he gets one more hit with this Charizard. Okay, so I underestimated the power there. What do I want to do? Still have the game plan on lock, especially because I have Terra Normal. I wish I got more damage on his Corviknight though. This is, but at the same damn time, I want to Terra this. Scovillain is impossible to switch into. Yeah, I didn't play as ideally around the Charizard as I'd like to. It wouldn't make sense to go Tusk. I've been going hard. Like if he goes D-Knight, I want the scale broken. I think D-Knight would be the only thing left that could stop my Wrath. So if he goes D-Knight, now he could go D-Knight then pivot to Tusk. And he's low enough to where I think he's not going to consider the risk versus reward. But I also think he thinks that Sandy Shock's his choice. So it goes Scovillain. From an offensive standpoint, this shit is a bitch. I don't know if I one-shot. I actually need to. But I kind of don't at the same time. I think I one-shot after the life orb damage. Yeah. And so now you have to go D-Knight. And as you see, all of his mons are Tusk fodder. So it actually goes Tusk first. Could knock off. It depends on what his core and the Corviknight has as his other move. But I don't think it'll matter too much. So let's see if I neutralize his attack as I switch. I go Tusk, I bulk up, or I could attack this, go Tusk, bulk up. But Tusk's gonna take an unnecessary EQ. Is that what's necessary? I don't think this is necessary to keep, truth be told. Yeah, especially because he has some rogue ice spinner. So if I'm trying to think what's the downside of just bulking up here. I'm actually faster too. CC. I just spin, kill. The Dragonite at best can DD, but it's choice banded. Yeah, so that's doing nothing. I'll just knock spam because there's no point in my Dragonite beast is Corviknight. So there's no point in risking him getting the you know what. Yeah. So just knock here, knock out the Dragonite. So you just gotta keep, as long as you keep your focus on the objective. Like no amount of dancing around, because I don't know, maybe you know my viewers are so used to things that are like, oh yeah, this isn't, But, you know, this is a really important game, right? From a lesson standpoint. Because it may seem like in the beginning, no, Jam's getting worked, man. How is he going to figure this out? The Toxapex died. The Charizard is botting. And the reason I wasn't concerned is because I already knew what the objective was. I already knew what he couldn't guard against in Dragonite. So no matter if it went to 5-1, once my Dragonite sets up, as long as the conditions are met, I win. Right. I'm actually kind of glad he clear smogged my Great Tusk over Lava Plume. If he burnt my Great Tusk, because I thought EQ would kill, stab EQ. Great Tusk isn't low attack. At fucking, I might have been a roll. I might have gotten a low roll on that. Like, that's crazy. 74% from a stab EQ coming off 447. It's ridiculous, man. So basically there I was like, okay, well, I know what conditions I need met. I don't know all the data all the data on his sets. Like his Corviknight could have been body pressed. So I was reluctant to Terra Normal my D-Knight. But I mean, even then, because I doubt his Great Tusk could take a +1 E-Speed because it's max Spadef. Like it's Spadef. Like it's completely Spadef. Took a +1 Earth Power. And took, it might have been a 3 KO. Might have been. Insane. But I wasn't concerned there because I knew no matter how flashy or doubly you get, none of the plays or none of the risks I was taking would lose me the game. Right? If I lost Pex, wouldn't lose me the game. If I lost Scovillain, I would. The only reason I played even like that is because I wanted the Scovillain to do something, because it could, because it's facing opposing Sun, but the opponent used his Zard way better than I expected to get more value out of it. And so I ended up having to go the traditional route of Dragonite Tusk sweeps, but I think I could have. It would have been a higher risk situation for me, but I could have done more with the Scovillain, truth be told. I mean, I could have just led and gone for Terra Rock and killed the Zard on turn 1, and all of that would have been gone. But nah, I think we could have done more over that. So my opponent has a Skeledirge, which is partly because of Terra Rock. I have Terra Rock. So that Skeletor, like, look at his team. But now, as we said, Hatterene is a huge issue for us. Like, massive problem. Massive problem. And he has a Clodsire as well, which is another massive problem. He has a Tinglu as well, which shuts down my boy Aaron. So Scovillain might have to carry the squad on his back. I just need, I think, one spike. And somehow I'm throwing his Clodsire to the wind. And I mean, Tusk is really handsome, but he has a Dondozo. So this might be an ugly game. So what I'm going to do is psychologically harass my opponent. Because he has just enough walls to stop me, but Toxapex walls most of his team as well. And if I can use the fact that he can't muscle past Pex as a means of like, oh no, I don't know what to do, and then he'll start making all kinds of random decisions, then maybe I can pull out of this. So phase 1 is going to involve must shut down Hatterene, and Tinglu lead would be rough, but Hatterene, Tinglu lead, Hatterene, Tinglu. Hatterene's too problematic as a lead. You always want to lead that which guards against your opponent's best. Like my worst case scenario is Hatterene. If he starts Hatterene as I start with Torkoal, I'm in a massive bind. I'm still in a bind right now, but it's not the end of the world, you know. So he opts for Tinglu, which I'll get a spike here. I'll lose my. He's going for hazards, but even if he doesn't, I need the spike. As I said, yeah, he's going for hazards. Now Tinglu is a bitch. I think we played a Tinglu. The Terra Poison Tinglu was with this team. Tusk offensively isn't sweeping, so what I can do is leverage Tusk here. Because what the beauty of Tusk is that people like to go Skeledirge and like to do all kinds of fancy stuff. So he also Halucha, it's heavy duty boots. It's very strange indeed. Okay, Defog. Okay, so you see what I'm talking about? He went for hazards and defogged his own hazards away because he feels pressured. The pressure is building. Clodsire / Hatterene. makes the most sense here. It's clear he's afraid of my oh yes, EQs. I could Terra Ground and kill him. That would open up Scovillain significantly, but I can't touch his Clodsire after that. I mean, I can't touch his Skeledirge after that. Giving this up is a big deal. He toxics. Swear if he goes Hatterene. This was a horrible play on his play, by the way. If he goes Hatterene, I'm gonna be tight. Yeah, that was a horrible play too. But I know the psyche of a lower ladder player. They're not thinking in terms of a game plan. They're thinking in terms of, I need to predict the opponent. And I keep emphasizing this in hopes that those who are in that state of mind don't do this, right? You must have an objective. What is the point of every move? Every move is supposed to support your objective. And so I'm aware that Scovillain is the big dad, big papa in this. So I won't die to the next. I won't die to the next. What's it called? So I'm gonna Earth Power anyway. Wow, that actually did a ton to him. The second one did 1,000,000. Good God. So Hatterene, which is his primary form of hazard control, is now gone. Now I exchanged Sandy Shocks, which offensively devastated him, but he has a Tinglu, which infinitely stops Hatterene. So it wasn't as devastating as I'd like to believe. But now, because he allowed his Clodsire to be beat down, Scovillain can come in and click that Young Flamethrower, right? And because he has, I knew this would come in eventually. I'll Terra Rock, maybe kill him, but he's likely to go for the Fire Stab anyway. Yeah, which allows me to survive. He's leftovers, which means he dies to hazards, though I won't be able to get those up anyway. But if he took Terra Rock that well, he's definitely Spadef. I wanted Giga badly here, but it's too big of a risk. We need that gone. So now we can spin infinitely, right? Well, not infinitely, but you know, you get the idea. I can spin without too much concern. And now my Great Tusk is looking gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now his Clodsire and Hatterene are still alive, but he's forced to EQ here because if I Giga Drain, I get all my health back. And my Scovillain under the sun is what is known as a true problem right now. So I don't know what the Hawlucha has in store for me. Let me think. If I pivot to, I'm gonna do a spin first. I don't know what this could possibly try to do. I mean, it's Defog. It might have Brave Bird. I don't know. So what I'm gonna end up doing is Coal first, and then I swear if this has U-turn, I'm out of here. Pivot to Scovillain. I switched first. Okay, that works. I'll take that. And now he's in a bind because now you have to take a Flamethrower from a sun boosted Scovillain. I want to Giga so badly. I knew Tinglu was coming. I wanted to Giga so badly so I could get some health back. But we'll keep playing it. And I need this because this Dondozo is still a huge issue for me. Like, see how much work I have to put in and how much better I'm playing than the opponent. Not like in an arrogant way, but I have to play infinitely better than the opponent because of how drastic this matchup is. So even though the opponent is making all kinds of abysmal decisions, it doesn't matter, right? Now, the upside of this is that I can now go for knockoff freely. The reason I didn't predict the Hawlucha is because I've seen, I think, most of his moveset by now. I'm assuming the last move is a fighting move. And what this allows, now I have the sun. Okay, so U-turn's the last, so I can't even touch Great Tusk. So we're expecting Dondozo here. Goes to Clodsire, which is great for us. Okay, so see what I'm talking about? Psychological pressure. He thinks he's lost, and he has a whole ass Dondozo. So I know. Usually at this range, the perception of like dominance is far more important than the actual dominance, right? Like, the game is not over. But I literally said that at the beginning. I said, okay, what we're gonna do is make it seem like the opponent can't break me. But as I just said, D Knight is not beating that Dondozo. Tusk is not beating that Dondozo. Pex is just gonna be a stall fest, right? We just have to stall, PP stall. His Clodsire could have walled me. It's like he literally had a like almost ultimate counter team. But the perception, man. Sometimes perception is greater than reality, and so my goal with the channel, as always, is to help you guys who enjoy, mental games. Obviously, this applies beyond just Mons, right? I use this stuff. I use my psychological power. No, but I use this stuff beyond Mons. It applies to several areas of life. Excuse me. Yawning on the mic. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Hit the like button down below. These are some fun games, man. As I said, what I love about having a wacky kind of trash team and then Fate playing in this part of the ladder is that the games are so intense because I don't have the firepower oftentimes, and they have the right amount of gimmicks and stuff to handle a weird team like this. It's just dope, man. So if you aren't enjoying these, man, I don't know what to tell you, but I am. So hit the like button again, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.